But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter why he lost, but he still did. And it goes back to the same old thing is, he gave up on himself. He wasn't knocked out in round 7. He jacked. He quit. He went down twice. He got back up twice. He didn't show the referee that he wanted to continue. Spat his gum shield out, stood in the corner holding onto the ropes. He quit. And that's it. Once you quit one time in your whole life, you're finished. Anybody can lose to a better man. Everybody loses. Muhammad Ali lost. Everybody will lose to a better man. But not all good men will quit. And once you quit once, it's an easy way to do it again under pressure. You might knock out another 10 bums, but there's always going to be that one man who'll make you jack again, because you've done it once. It's not...
Wow, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news. Of course, I was letting you guys listen to an interview with Tyson Fury by IFL TV, and Tyson Fury was stating that Anthony Joshua quit, and he said it's more like a mental thing, and once you quit, it's easier to quit again. Once you quit the first time, he says, you're finished. And the thing of it, and he broke it down, it's not like he got knocked out, because a lot of people compare it to Lennox Lewis's losses to McCall and Rahman. And, he was winning those fights. Anthony Joshua wasn't. Anthony Joshua, I think the first and second rounds could have went either way. But the third round showed a lot. I think he tried to get him out of there early. Like you guys know my take on it. And he was caught. But how Tyson Fury was explaining it is he quit. He spit out his guard, his mouthpiece, and he held the ropes. I'll talk about that in depth in another video because, I wanted to, give a talk of, have a video to cover that in particular. But back to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury said he quit, and if he doesn't win the rematch, he must retire. Okay? And that's kind of like what he was saying about, that's what Lou DiBella was saying. Like, hey, he might as well, go back home and count his wealth, cut his losses, because, if it was a mental thing, if it wasn't anything that had anything to do with his training or him being compromised or hurt, he was basically saying, hey, retire, and of course, Tyson Fury, everybody wanted to see a big, huge fight. And I know it's these fighters in their head, they're wishing they could have been Andy Ruiz. See, all these fighters, they talk about Anthony Joshua and if he quit or not. Okay? However you feel about that. I think they would want to be the one to do it. And I don't really think, honestly, that I don't think Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder would make Joshua quit. That's my counterpunch on that. I think that what would happen, Deontay Wilder would catch him with that right and knock him out. Like Brazil, and he wouldn't beat the count. Or Tyson Fury just outboxing him and frustrating him, if that was going to be the case. And, and that's a whole different style of fight. Because that is more of a dangerous fight for Fury. Because Anthony Joshua would be coming with different punches. The only thing I would question in a fight like that would be his stamina, his endurance. Because if he, because he would have to fight a guy that's moving in boxing. You know what I mean? Switching stances, going back to the original stance, switching stances again, jabbing, left foot, right, grabbing him, holding him, pinning him up, you know, and that gets you tired. If anyone ever sparred, okay, you should know how someone holds you. It like almost absorbs your energy. You know what I mean? Especially when you want to punch while he's holding you. You're trying to punch, and that's what people do. It's a mental thing. It's a technique. It's a strategy. You know what I mean? Get your punches up, tie him up. You do that because you get off, and first of all, he's not even able to get off. Then he wants to punch. So that anticipation of throwing these punches, you're using that energy still, because you're not able to get these punches, but that person's holding you when you want to punch at the same time. So, that would be an interesting fight to see. Both of those fights. I still want to see them all, because until these guys fight, I'm not convinced on any of this Joshua's finish shit, because we still have to see what Joshua's going to do in 6 months in this rematch. You know, a lot of people question if the rematch is the right thing for Joshua right now. We don't know. We won't know until the day, right? We won't know until the day. But at the same time, you know, that's Tyson Fury's take on it. You know, he lost mentally. You know, to Tyson Fury, he sat there, he came towards him with his guard up. Then the guard guy asked him if he's okay. He went back. So, you know, he figured, hey, he quit. And if he doesn't win the rematch and he doesn't make amends of that, he's finished. Now, this is how I feel about that. I think that if Joshua doesn't fight Ruiz, I don't think that he can ever make amends. You know, you have fighters that you get beat by. Like I think of Adrian Broner. I think Adrian Broner didn't have the opportunity to avenge his loss to Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana is the guy that changed Adrian Broner forever, because if you notice, he was never the same fighter. He was a decent fighter, but he was never the way he truly was before. And he didn't quit. You know, it wasn't a KO. It was just a real, true, honest ass beating that Adrian Broner took from Maidana. El Chino gave it to him. And he beat him. He made him, like, he hit him with body shots and started dropping him. He dropped him twice in that fight. And I know you know, up to that time, he has never experienced anything like that. You know, with Joshua, this is the same thing, because Andy Ruiz pretty much made him retreat. You know, now I do agree, those last couple punches, they didn't seem like that hard of punching. They didn't. So it was like, okay, did he really just kind of go with that? Or like to avoid getting hit? You know what I mean? A lot of times someone, you know, swings at you and you catch it. Okay, I don't like that. Oh, God, I know, you know, and he hits you again, or someone, you know, attacks you. You know, a lot of times people fall down to keep from getting hit. You know, the question is, was that one of the situations? Like, you know, like you didn't want to get hit like that, because Andy Ruiz was putting those punches together, people. So, you know, according to Tyson Fury, if he doesn't win the rematch, he should retire. Now, if he doesn't win the rematch and it goes the same way, theoretically, that means Bob Arum was right, Paolo Malignaggi was right, Sugar Ray Leonard was right, George Foreman was right. He shouldn't have been in there with him right away. He should have regained his confidence. He should have taken time to get a couple wins back, you know, and let that happen. And I think it's one of these promotional crisis, you know what I'm saying? Like Matchroom, DAZN, Sky Sports. I think it's that pressure of Joshua getting that statue back, because without the belts, he doesn't really have the endorsements. Without the endorsements, the sponsorships. Without the sponsorships, you don't have that power that you need, you know? It's like Anthony Joshua was an engine, okay? So I think it's more pressure on them to pressure Anthony Joshua to get this rematch, to get his stuff back, his bearings back. So it's a lot of things riding on a rematch. So there is some truth to what Tyson Fury said. It's interesting, to say the least. You guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's statements. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.